What's going on YouTube? Links Forte here, bring you the team builder portion of my video. I haven't been really doing them, like I've just been jumping right into the battles and just kind of going over the sets really quickly. But now that we have made it to the Sweet 16s, basically it's you lose and you're done kind of thing. But since we made it there, I kind of wanted to break down my sets a little bit more. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. First off, you can see my opponent's team right here on the right hand side. Going up against OKC Thunderous, and their coach is Mio. I think I'm pronouncing that right. You know, unless he's like, if he's American, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. If he's not, I'm sorry that I butchered your name. But you see my opponent's team and the threats that they have, or he has Magirna, Thunderous T, Zygarde, Volcanion, Scolipede, Decidueye, Azelf, and Mega Tyranitar. And Volcanion and Scolipede are the Z Pokemon. I've seen him use Bloom Doom on Volcanion. I don't think that'll be a set that he'll bring because, I mean, other than Suicune, nothing really, you know, is threatened. So I'm not expecting him to bring a Z move on Volcanion. Scolipede is an option. Maybe like whatever the Poison Z move is, just because Sylveon can take a hit from can take like a regular poison jab, non-boosted. So I am expecting him to bring Swords Dance Scolipede. If he doesn't bring Swords Dance Scolipede, as long as Mega Manectric doesn't have any damage on it, maybe like one Rocks hit or something like that, I can take an Earthquake from it after an Intimidate drop. But if he has Swords Dance, you know, he can pretty much sweep through my team with Scolipede. I mean, Gliscor could do some damage, I'm not sure, but let me just get into the team and let you know what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. First off, as you've been seeing on the screen the entire time, I have Darmanitan here, Life Orb, Sheer Force, no need to explain that, pretty standard. Flare Blitz, Superpower, Earthquake, and U-Turn, pretty standard as well. The reason I have U-Turn, because he has Azelf, I'm expecting him to want to get his rocks up. He has Azelf and Mega Tyranitar as his rockers. I don't think anything else on his team gets rocks. But even though Azelf outspeeds me, I can get off U-turn and do a lot of damage. And then, you know, I may be coming in on rocks. I did consider, just to let you guys know, I'm not bringing a Defogger. As I'm recording this, brackets was just released today, so maybe I'll go back over the team later after I talk to a couple people. But as of right now, there's no Defogger on this team. But yeah, I have U-turn. If he's standard lead Azelf, that I think it does about 85%. Don't quote me on that. But if he's standard lead Azelf, it does probably like 85%. So I can get that damage off, and then I can go into something else. You know, and try to revenge kill it. But Earthquake is there for Magirna if I need to, or even Tyranitar, you know, just mostly it's there for Volcanion. But if I don't really want to predict and I don't want to take the recoil that Flare Blitz does, why do I always like stutter over that word? But if I don't want to deal with the recoil of Flare Blitz, and I just want to take the Life Orb damage, I can just click Earthquake. Volcanion could try to switch in, but I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he'll try to switch in. And then Superpower is there basically for Mega Tyranitar. It's an Oko, hands down. Oko, that thing. I think even if he's defensive, I don't foresee him doing max HP, max defense. Like he may do something like max HP, you know, and play around with the attack and the speed, and then maybe like a Dragon Dance variant. I don't know. But I really don't foresee him going max HP, max defense on Mega Tyranitar. Next up, I'm going to bring Sylveon, and yes, it's not choice specs this time. It's Leftovers, Pixelate, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power, Ground, Calm Mind, and Wish. I don't have Protect, and I don't have Aromatherapy. It could be a downfall not having those moves, but I don't want Volcanion to wall me. And I don't want Volcanion just thinking it's going to get a free sub up against me. My plan is, you know, if he wants to bring in Volcanion and, you know, go for substitute, obviously I can still hit it behind the sub with Hidden Power or Hyper Voice, but Volcanion just can't come in for free. Like it will force Volcanion basically to attack me, and I live a Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave. You know, if he's not Specs. I think even with Specs, I might live. Not sure. I'll have to go back and look at the calcs. But I can pretty much take a hit from Volcanion and not really have to worry about it, and then I threaten it with Hidden Power Ground. Hyper Voice, he's ran substitute Zygarde a couple battles. So unless on that Zygarde he decides to carry Iron Tail, Sylveon pretty much threatens it with this set. My plan is that I can probably start to Calm Mind up against maybe Volcanion, maybe even Decidueye. Just not sure yet. It kind of depends on how the battle goes, but I think I can definitely set up on one of those two Pokemon. I don't want to risk setting up on Zygarde because at the same time Zygarde could set up on me. I think one or two Dragon Dances and 1,000 Arrows can OHKO me. So I can't really, you know, play around with Zygarde too much. Zygarde is the biggest threat on this team. Like, Zygarde is a monster. But at the same time, Scolipede does a lot of work to me as well. And for Scolipede, like I was saying earlier, Mega Magnetric is going to come as well. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice is there only for Decidueye. Everything else, you know, I'm just going to be Thunderbolting or Flamethrowing. Volt Switch, I may decide to lead off with Mega Magnetric. I haven't planned that out yet, because again, the brackets came out today. I don't know when he and I are going to be battling. Haven't even asked him about it. I just kind of wanted to get this team together so then I can go ask him and, you know, figure my schedule out, personal life, battling, all that stuff later. But I don't really think there, you know, this is a pretty standard Mega Magnetric set. I may decide to go Modest. No, I have to go Timid, just because he has Thunder's T. If I don't go Timid, then Thunder's T outspeeds me, and I have to be careful about maybe an HP Ground. Although he may see other Pokemon on my team as threats. You know, he may decide HP Fire or something like that. Next up is Dragonite, Lumberry, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and E-Speed. I don't want to be locked into Outrage and not kill something, and then he just switches into Magearna. Or maybe I do kill something, and then he switches into Magearna, and maybe he goes for a like a Shift Gear or something like that, and then it could be game over for me if that were to happen. So I decided to bring Dragon Claw. Depending on his spread, Earthquake kills after +1, and the reason I'm carrying Lumberry, like, he doesn't really have a traditional status Pokemon, but he could bring Will-O-Wisp on Decidueye. He could bring Will-O-Wisp on he could bring Will-O-Wisp on Volcanion, but you know, Steam Eruption with its power and the 30% chance to burn, that's my plan. Volcanion, I believe, is the Pokemon that, you know, either Dragonite or Sylveon can set up on. But you know, if he's not carrying Sub, he's going to switch out, and that's a free Dragon Dance, maybe even 2 free Dragon Dances, depending on what Pokemon he decides to bring in against me. So I think if he has Volcanion in, he has to attack me. Like, he can't afford to switch out and allow me to get up that free Dragon Dance. So that's how I foresee that part of the battle going. Like, as long as I'm healthy, I have to watch out for the HP Ice though, and especially if he gets up rocks, I have to watch out for that. So you know, but if he's healthy or Dragonite's not at full, I have to watch out for the HP Ice on Volcanion, because then I can't get up a Dragon Dance. Next up is Gliscor. Another reason why I need to watch out for the HP Ice, because I'm not carrying Earthquake on Gliscor. I have Stealth Rock, Roost, U-Turn, and Ice Fang. I just want to make sure I keep up a lot of momentum. I may decide later on to switch out U-Turn for Earthquake, but the reason why I'm opting to go for U-Turn right now is because if I decide to lead off Gliscor, I can bluff that I'm a different set. I can bluff that I have Defog instead. That's kind of one of the reasons that I'm deciding with this set. I don't know, man. I think Earthquake may just be, look at this, me changing my mind right now. We're just gonna go Earthquake, because then I don't fully threaten Volcanion, especially if he decides to go offensive, because he outspeeds me, and I don't think I live a hidden power ice or a steam eruption for that matter. But you know, this is what I just have to do. Ice Fang is there for Decidueye. Decidueye so far, you know, it has a favorable matchup against, you know, a couple of my Pokemon, because, you know, if I'm not carrying the moves that I'm carrying, like Dragon Claw, and then if I didn't have Darmanitan, Decidueye could potentially, you know, start Swords Dance Baton Passing, and I have to watch out for that, because I'm just now thinking about that. I have to watch out for that against, you know, with the in pairing with the Scolipede. So that, I don't know if he's done that yet, but it's something I definitely need to watch out for. And last but not least, and this Pokemon is actually here for a reason this time, because I could potentially lead off with Sableye. You know, it's never a good idea to have so many potential lead Pokemon, but at the same time, I think it's a good idea because it's kind of hard to counter pick. But Sableye is probably my best option to lead with if he decides to bring the Azelf. If Mega Tyranitar comes as well, Sableye is probably my best pick, you know, to lead off with, just because I can get off a taunt against the Azelf, and I can get off a Will-O-Wisp against Mega Tyranitar, although I probably will favor the taunt. I don't think, you know, a Stone Edge from regular Tyranitar would kill me, but it's something I need to calc. It's not something I really thought about in my head. I do need to watch out with the passive damage of Sand. So, you know, there's just a lot of things I need to worry about. And the reason I decided to go with the special set, Shadow Ball and Dazzling Beam, and specially defensive, is just, you know, if I need to absorb a Will-O-Wisp or something like that, maybe I don't want to burn Dragonite, Slumberry, or whatever other reason. If I need to absorb a hit, or, you know, if I need to bring in I need to bring in Sableye on Volcanion and it gets burned, big deal. Or maybe I'm going up against Volcanion right then and there, he steam erupts against me and I get burned, big deal. No big deal. I mean, it still gives me a throwaway Pokemon, at the same time it gives me a Pokemon that has a purpose. Now, if Azelf and Mega Tyranitar don't come, then Sableye can be useful still against like Scolipede, you know, as long as it's not carrying Lumberry. It scares Zygarde if Zygarde is not carrying Lumberry. It keeps Zygarde from setting up a sub as well. Zygarde can't just come in against Sableye. Even if Zygarde is behind the sub, you know, I can taunt him, you know, keep him from going from a Dragon Dance or a Coil. Yeah, I'd rather him be behind the sub than him setting up. So, you know, if push comes to shove and, you know, Zygarde comes in, like, there's a chance he runs like Scarf Zygarde. And, you know, he brings in Mega Manetric because he's trying to bluff the Yachi Berry and turns out to be like Scarf, or he's trying to bluff the Scarf and turns out to be Yachi Berry, so I can't hidden power ice him. But that's not something I want to risk. If he ever decides to bring in Zygarde against Mega Manetric, my automatic thought, switch out. And Sableye will be my switch in if he's still available to me. But that's the team builder, you guys. See you guys at the battle. Alright, you guys, welcome back to the battle. Between the team builder and the battle, the only thing I changed on my team was that Darmanitan now has the Fight EMZ. I think before it had the Life Orb. Probably should have checked that before I did the recording, but whatever. I just felt that it would help me deal with Mega Tyranitar better. And looking at his team, I did a test battle with a friend, and my friend pretty much predicted the 6 Pokemon he had right. The only thing is he had on that team, oh man, I don't remember what Pokemon it was. But he didn't bring Volcanion on the test team, which is no big deal. I kind of knew how to play around Volcanion, but yeah, so looking at his team, I was kind of debating, like, I figured that he would want to get rocks up, so the only rocker he has on this team, since he didn't bring Azelf, would be Mega Tyranitar. Kind of figured he would want to get rocks up, and I had a decision. I can either taunt Will-O-Wisp it, or I could just, you know, make him force him out with Darmanitan, and I decided to go with the latter, so I'm going to lead off with Darmanitan, and he does indeed lead off with Mega Tyranitar. Now, I'm sitting here thinking there's no way he is staying in with the threat of a superpower, because that's just in my mind. It doesn't make sense. Not to make that prediction turn 1. You kind of want to wait to see what your opponent has. So I go for the U-turn, and when he stays in and goes for the pursuit, I don't know if that was a prediction. I don't know if he just didn't care that he didn't have Tyranitar, but had I gone for all-out pummeling, this Tyranitar would have been gone, and this battle would have been completely different. But he goes for the pursuit. I'm down so much. It's annoying. So anyway, I go into Sableye thinking he's going to switch out once again, and he doesn't. So I go into Mega Manectric, and I'm just thinking he is playing really ballsy with this Tyranitar. So I go into Mega Manectric, and now I'm just going to click Thunderbolt, because I'm really thinking like he's not going to stay in. I'm thinking he's going to go into his Zygarde with the Yachi Bear. But no, he stays in. I get a pair off. I don't think it mattered in the long run. I'm just going to Volt Switch and go into Glasgow. He reveals the Earthquake here. And I'm just like, this battle has just gone all wrong, and because he played so ballsy with the Tyranitar. There's the Ice Punch. I really didn't care. I just kind of want the rocks up. But it was just like annoying to see someone play so ballsy like that from turn 1. Like, I've never seen that. So he's gonna go into Sylveon, and I'm just gonna start Calm Mind, or he's gonna go into his Magearna, and I'm just gonna start Calm Minding up. He goes for a Flash Cannon. It's not even a 2-hit KO from here, so I'm gonna go for the HP Ground, revealing his Shuca Bear, and I'm just thinking, well, this is going exactly the way I want. He's gonna go for a Heart Swap to take my stats, and my HP Ground is now gonna do absolutely nothing. Now it's my time to switch out and basically sack off Sableye. He's gonna go for a Flash Cannon. I'm specially defensive Sableye, so I can live at least 1 hit. And I'm just gonna, try to get some residual damage off on it with the Will-O-Wisp. And once again, this battle is going exactly the way I want. Now I'm sitting at a +2 special attack, Magearna in my face. So I have Darmanitan. I'm almost positive he's just gonna switch out. So I don't want to risk a Flare Blitz, and I knew it would hit everything on his team, barring the Tornadus. So I know he didn't want to switch that in on rocks and a potential Flare Blitz. So now I have no reason not to, because I can't switch back in on rocks. So I'm just gonna reveal that I had the all-out pummeling. I don't know, what he was thinking after I showed it, but I was just like, whatever, man. There's no reason not to just reveal it, because I'm gonna go down to rocks. I don't want to just waste it, I guess you could say. So now I'm gonna go into Dragonite, and I kind of figured he would switch out, and now I'm just going to get off a Dragon Dance, and I'm thinking if he brought in Tornadus, it either had it had some type of ice move. I was thinking it had HP Ice, and I'm just thinking I can't switch out. There's nothing I can do. I can't switch out. So I'm just gonna stay in and go for a Dragon Claw. He reveals Icy One. I didn't even know Tornadus got Icy One, but it got Icy One. Man, I'm trying to make this as quick as I can because I have a sore throat. So I'm gonna go into my Mega Manectric, thinking he's probably gonna go into Zygarde now, but I really can't even risk anything. Like the way he's been playing, I can't risk anything. So I'm just gonna go over a Thunderbolt. He does indeed go into Zygarde. I'm just gonna click HP Ice, and it does a little bit over half. And he's gonna go for 1,000 arrows. Takes me out. Now Sylveon is the last thing I have. And yeah, I'm just thinking I could just take the Zygarde out. I thought he would want to preserve, the 5-0, but he goes for the Toxic. I go for the Wish and Calm Mind up. Nothing I can do now. I mean, I just figured I could take one more hit because I got the Wish going, but yeah, this isn't really this battle really didn't go the way I wanted. So I'm just gonna click Hyper Voice here, take Zygarde out. Made it a little bit better, but this is the first time I've ever had a battle be decided turn 1 because someone played ballsy. I think there's always a rule: don't predict turn 1. It's not a set in stone rule, but it's just one of those things like you don't predict turn 1 because that could screw up, the entire battle. It just so happens, I don't know if it was a prediction, but if he did predict, it's something that paid off. Him being so ballsy with his Mega Tyranitar. I don't know if he didn't need it, or if it was just something he was trying to scout me out with Darmanitan, but whatever it was, it paid off. And that's the end of my NPL tournament run. Got to the Sweet 16. Unfortunately, didn't have the best of showing here. Anyway, this is Link's Forte. Go check out Mio. I'm out, man. Peace.